Okay, you ready? You good? You ready? Let's start streaming. That was a good rehearsal.
Yep.
And now YouTube says we're live. Not that we just thought we went live without actually going live, but you know, these things happen on the number one Tyranid shit show on the planet, the Creature Conference. So hello, all those people out there in live YouTube land, and welcome to the number one Tyranid shit show on the internet. I'm joined by my dear friends Flynnhammer. Want to say hello, Flynnhammer? And Hydra. Want to say hi, Hydra?
Hi.
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 Thank you both for joining now that we're actually live and on the internet. And we were supposed to be joined by the Mighty Moloch, but we'll have to see if he rolls up, or if and when he rolls up. Yeah, and for this week's Creature Conference, we're going to be doing a Xenos review, a Xenos year in review, which is reviewing all of the Xenos models that came out in 2021. And Flynnhammer has very diligently, 2021, 2022. I swear I know what year it is. Flynnhammer has diligently combed through. Actually, did you say you've been doing this all year?
Yep, all year long. Makes my life
Oh my
easier.
God. You've been keeping track of Xenos releases all year. You know, I did that once. I have the notebooks over there where I like made notes of like every Games Workshop kit that was released for like when I was guesting on Between the Bolter and Me. And I found it soul destroying work. Did you find yours to be soul destroying work?
No, because I did it as the week went on. I just copied the link. Was like, is this Xenos? No. Okay.
No, but I wrote down, I didn't just write down the Xenos ones. I wrote down like every release. I don't know why the hell I did it. And I just like got to a point where I'm like, why am I doing this? And like, oh my God, this is so materialistic. Like, and I just made like a little note in a notebook, but I don't know. I did it for like a year and I was like, never again. And I think it was during the pandemic. So there was like that part where like they didn't release anything, and I don't know. Anyway.
Just so you know, I have my camera on, but I'm not sure if you want to see what I'm doing.
Well, I can put your. I was intending to just flap my gums this episode and not.
Okay, good.
It doesn't mean that that's what we have to do. How do I get you up? Oh, there we go.
Raising.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, because we're going to be like reviewing the models, and I was going to ask Flynnhammer to drive for that, but until that happens, let's see if we can pull up Hydra's video.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, where is it? There it is.
Boop, 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 boop.
See what kind of fun things he's doing without doxing myself. I'll put that there. Why the hell not? So what are you working on there, Hydra?
I'm filling my Solstice 28 molds, which have finally been done with talcum powder to get the very first cast, and I'm doing them while we're at stream. Isn't that exciting?
It is very exciting. I'm getting some weird feedback somewhere. I don't know where it's coming from.
Probably from you.
I don't know. Whatever. This is a shit show. People are used to it. All right. Welcome to all the folks in the chat. Oh, wait. Why is Marco's avatar up here? Marco is not here. Cheeky bugger. Put Flynnhammer over here. Put Hydra over here. And yeah, hello to Felis. Thanks for joining. Diana, good to see you. Some guy named S. Schnitzler. I don't know who the shit that is, but he's here too. Kidding, that's Hydra. Atelier, good to see you, Atelier, and Thrifty Squirrel. Man, I feel like Thrifty's only been on maybe 1-2 streams before. Good to see you. And of course, Will, Tactical D-Bag. Good to have you, buddy. So thank you all for joining, especially the folks in North America. I know that this timing can be a little weird in North American time. Drinking my iced Vietnamese coffee, which this is the only way I drink coffee. It's delicious. And for this very special Xenos Year in Review Creature Conference, what part of Rick Priestley's expansive manse are we coming to people from, Flynnhammer? Are you there, Flynn? Are you thinking?
We're coming from his pool.
His pool?
We're on the pool.
Oh my God. Who invited Gollum? I certainly did not.
used that one for so long.
Wow. Great job. Great job. Simon, remind me never to ask Flynnhammer where we're coming from again.
I
never
will
have.
be asked to remind you, yes.
Okay. What are you guys at?
Although it's so freezing cold here, I feel like I've been in the pool all day.
Oh, dang. You mean in Germany or in your basement?
Yeah, both.
Both. Okay.
The silicone that I poured here into the other day,
Yep.
when I steered it, it was so weird because it was so tough to steer, and I
Mhm.
was wondering what that was happening. And then I looked at the temperature. I have this little device in my room to see the temperature and the humidity.
Yeah, we normally call that a thermometer.
Yeah, I will try my lazy German tongue on that word. So I'll try to work around that. Yeah, it was I think 12 degrees. And no
Oh
one
God,
was,
that's cold.
yeah. But
Holy
the funny thing
cow.
was, I was so excited to make these casts that I didn't realize because I was just wearing a t-shirt and was so concentrated
Yeah.
that I didn't feel the cold. I was just surprised that it was so cold.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, stay warm, buddy. You can just you can heat up your little silicone there with the excitement coming off you. Because you're a very electric person.
I'm in a different room now. I have 17 degrees here. So.
Oh, good. That's nice. It's been not that cold in Toronto, Canada, where I am. But we were supposed to have this huge Stormageddon. It's going to be freezing rain and snow and close all your businesses and don't go anywhere. And the weather yesterday was really gross, but then it just turned into rain and it wasn't really a big deal.
Oh, how underwhelming.
Yeah, it's too bad. Oh, Brett's here. Brett, how's it going down south in Australia? Is it just raining scorpions and snakes and spiders? And wait, it's cold here, so it must be like balls hot there. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, Christmas at the beach.
Exactly. Flynn, how's the weather where you're at?
Christmas at the beach.
Freezing.
It's freezing in the UK.
Yeah, like -2.
That is pretty cold for the UK. It's probably -2 here. I'd be walking around in shorts.
I haven't been able to do any hobby down in my space because I've got no heating in that area.
Yeah.
And it's too cold to sit down there, let alone try and do any sculpting. Because
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. How did I spill gross wetness all over myself? That was great. Apparently I can't do things. Yeah, and and Brett Evans says it's technically summer, but it's been super cold where I am, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
And also, One Above All is here. Good to see you, One Above All, Sean One Above All Williams, because, buddy, you partially inspired the thing that we're going to be talking about first. I did say we're going to do Xenos Year in Review, but there's been some cool shit that's happened in the hobby community over the last week or so. So we're going to take 1-2 minutes to talk about that first, and then we'll get to the Xenos Year in Review. And first thing that we need to talk about is, of course, what's everyone been talking about today? Beautiful Tyranids in the new Space Marine 2 trailer. That's what everyone has been talking about today. I don't want to hear any other crap about Superman or anything like that. We didn't get the chance to look at, I think on a previous stream we talked about the original Space Marine 2 trailer that they shared and the cool Tyranids that they showed. Sorry?
I think it was about a year ago.
Yeah, I think it was about it. Yeah, good observation. What the heck? Which one is this? Okay, that's that one. Yeah, I guess. It was a year ago. Holy cow. Anyway, so we got another another trailer for Space Marine 2, this video game that'll be coming out. And of course, they decided to make it a really good video game by making the Space Marines face Tyranids rather than facing Chaos or Orcs or anything boring like that. So we've been getting some cool Tyranid shots. And One Above All reached out to me saying hey, dude, what's that YouTuber dude, Valorak or whatever? Who he actually, I think he's the dude who got us those rumors back in the day.
Yeah.
About the Tyranid releases that we talked about on a previous stream. What What? Why did that change? That's weird. He had a video where he was reviewing the trailer for Space Marine 2, and I think he said like, "Oh my God, look, there's like a new Tyranid in there." And One Above All very dutifully reached out to me and said, "Hey, yo, like Valrak found a new Tyranid in the trailer." So I had watched it, and I hadn't seen a new Tyranid when I watched the trailer, but I had a review of it just to make sure that there weren't any like new Tyranids hiding in the background that I somehow missed. And what he had identified as a new Tyranid was this cheeky number in the background here. I just pulled up. I'm just going to show some stills from the trailer.
Right.
If you haven't seen it, you should go check it out because there's some cool Tyranid action going on. But in the background, there's like this kind of jungly scene, and of course, we see the Space Marine here valiantly running away from Tyranids, which is the best approach.
You mean the Sporocytes in the background?
There you go. It's a Sporocyte. So we gotta forgive Valrak. He doesn't speak Tyranid. He only speaks Space Marine. He saw something that wasn't a warrior or a Hormagaunt, because that's all we've got in this video, just warriors and Hormagaunts. And he's like, "Oh my God, it's not a warrior or a Hormagaunt. It must be a new Tyranid." And yeah, he meant that thing in the background, kind of above the fleeing Space Marine's head, with the big chitinous plates curving out. And as Flynn noted, it's definitely a Sporocyst or a Tyrannocyte or something like that. And we see a number of those kind of like littering the background in the different scenes. Hold on, let's see. There's one there on the right. There's one up on the ledge on the left there near that kind of like Manhattan Bridge looking thing. That's not the one. And then there's one, of course, in the background here, which is probably the clearest look at a Sporocyte over the top of the Space Marine dude's gun. But yeah, so thanks for flagging that, and just wanted to use that as a jumping off point for talking about this this trailer. So have you folks had the chance to watch it yet?
Yes.
Nice. Nice. What'd you think?
I love the fact they've actually got the Sporocytes in the background, because I can imagine what is going to happen is as the game progresses, you go to different areas, you're going to have Sporocytes crashing in.
That'd be cool.
Coming out from there. That I think would be cinematic as hell.
Yeah, that'd be damn cool.
And they finally tell us then how they work.
Well, I don't know. They're all in the background. Maybe they're going to crash in the distance. You're not actually going to get a good look at how they work.
Well, that would be a shame, but you're probably
Wouldn't that be
right.
a pain? Yeah.
Yeah. But I think I'm not 100% sure, but somewhere in the background, and I just watched it once, but I think it looked like the shape of a Ravener head, like a third edition Ravener head. Like
Wait, yeah, this one right here. So I pulled that one up. So when I was watching the video, this was the only frame where I thought that it might be like a new Tyranid. This central creature here with so you can see a Hormagaunt on the left. And if you look at the head carapace, you got that little horn that you normally see on Hormagaunts. And look at their carapace. It ends before the end of the thing's head. But this thing in the foreground, like it looks like it's got two scything talons, but it looks like the crest extends beyond the end of the bulbous head underneath. And this was the only creature in here that identified as not being not even Tyranid warrior. Like a Tyranid, it looks like they're all Tyranid primes, but maybe they're just like Tyranid warriors with cool armor. Everything else in this video seems to be either a Sporocyst, a Hormagaunt, or a Tyranid prime. But this was the one that looked different. Is this the one you're talking about, Simon?
Yep. Yep. That got me thinking, but
yeah, you're right to identify it like a Ravener. It looks like it's like getting up on its scything talons kind of awkwardly. The mouth part looks a little. Go ahead, Flynn.
The arms look too small to be for a Ravener, but it's also got that carapace for. It's also similar to like the old 4th edition gargoyle carapace, but doesn't stick out.
Yep.
But
right.
The mandibles, but the mandibles as well.
They have mandibles on it?
Yeah, if you look at the mouth, it looks like it's got mandibles.
Oh, cool. Okay. It's tough to see.
It could be a mutated one that you see like randomly every so often.
Yeah, or like a little leader beast or something like that. Yeah, it's neat, and it'll be cool to see like further videos from this. I hope that they do more than just Tyranid primes the Hormagaunts and Tyrannocytes, because that'd be a bit of a boring game. But like, so this is a really sexy prime here. Good look. I like that the head carapace is slightly different. I feel like it's slightly wider than you would see on a traditional prime. You can really see it in this video where Space Marine is bravely running away. If you look at that head carapace just to the right of his head, the like kind of sweeping out wings on the prime or Tyranid warrior head carapace look much bigger than what we'd see on the model, which is neat. We got this guy, and in this one again just a bunch of Hormagaunts. There's probably a prime or two in there. You've got the close up on the Tyrannocyte on the left, but there's some weird tentacly bits going on. Maybe those are tails. And then there was the warrior that's, or whatever, sorry, the Tyranid that's leaping towards him here. I wasn't sure if that was a Hormagaunt or not. I guess that's a Hormagaunt. But yeah, lots of... Go ahead, Flynn.
It's just Hormagaunts and warriors and primes so far. I'm thinking there's definitely going to be a Carnifex as a boss to be...
Likely, yeah.
I'm going to put a Hype Tyrant in as well.
They need to be, otherwise that game would be boring after half an hour, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'd hope so, but I really like this shot where they're inside a ship, or I don't know, maybe it's a factory or something, and like they're fighting the Nids, and he like shoots a plasma at one of them, and it just kind of shakes it off and keeps coming. Thought that was pretty neat.
Yep.
And then this cool shot where he's clearly fighting with some guardsmen, which is neat, and of course piles and piles of Hormagaunts.
Yeah, to keep him busy.
Yeah, and that's the thing I was worried about when I saw only primes and Hormagaunts. Probably because it's early game. Like maybe they haven't finished coding the whole game. Maybe they don't want to spoil anything, so they're just putting in like rank and file dudes. But yeah, when you said to keep them busy, I was worried it was just going to be like the Tyranids were just going to be like mindless swarm filler, and there weren't going to be that much individual creatures introduced. But I'm gonna have faith that they will introduce some other cool Tyranids. Apparently, this game is coming out this year, is what they're 2023, which is what they're forecasting, which is not too bad.
A delayed game is better. Is a
Than
game
shit
that
game.
released that, and a game that is terrible now will always be known as terrible.
Yeah. Oh, one thing though, I didn't get a picture of it, but when I was reviewing the trailer, in one of the earliest scenes where it like shows this like sweeping vista of like a tower or a building or something, and like the Space Marines like walking up, if you look in the sky, you can see like a flock of something like coming in. So that would suggest that there's hopefully going to be some gargoyles or flying Tyranids or something like that.
Yeah.
I think when Dawn of War got its first trailer, I think the most exciting thing about that was seeing those things that have been unanimated before being animated finally, like seeing how Space Marine walks or how a Dreadnought walks or stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good observation.
And at least I recall that we watched that trailer like a movie over and over again and looked at the things and stuff. And it will be interesting to see our, like as I said, like those the drop pods, see them in motion and how they were designed to work. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
But I think this excitement has sadly worn off a bit. Because
why is that? Because we've already seen Tyranids animated?
Because I feel like I have thought so much about how they would look that I sometimes think that I have spoiled myself.
Okay. That you've thought about it so much that when you see them animated, you're like, that's not accurate. That's not how it works in my brain.
Yeah, something like that. Oh,
damn, okay. Dang. I think that for me... well, with the exception of what Felix is commenting on in the chat, that in the first version of this trailer, he said, the first trailer, the one where a huge Tyranid forgot it had 4 arms. That's where he's like fighting the guy with the bone swords and he's not doing anything with his running claws.
That was ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, other than that, I feel like it's cool to see Tyranids like being like sinuous and like agile and like running around and doing stuff. I also really like in this trailer seeing like real swarm. I mean, might be a bit movie. What was that those rules they released in White Dwarf, like movie Space Marines or whatever, where they made the Space Marine. Sorry,
Celluloid Space Marines.
It was the Action Hero Space Marines, where they released rules to make Space Marines.
They call that in Germany celluloid.
Clever. Yeah, that thing where they like made Space Marines like more powerful than like a normal human, and I feel like there's a bit of that in this. That he's getting absolutely swarmed by Hormigons, and he just goes boom, and they all go boom, and like that's a little cheese. But I like that it's a swarm. It's not like he's got like 1, 2, 3 Hormigons in a hallway. Like it's a big pile of them. Because though in Dawn of War you eventually got Tyranid creatures, the fact that you would like deploy the same number of like Tyranids as you would like guard roughly, it didn't feel swarmy that way. So it's cool to see this be swarmy.
Yeah, I think Space Marines are the I think the setup is great for this kind of game type, right? Where you have like one super dude walking around and smashing away hundreds of others. And what's more believable to swath aside than like Tyranid swarms?
Yeah, good point.
Basically, like replacing zombies with aliens.
Yeah, and that works well. Like in Starship Troopers, where they can just like expend all their rounds firing at these aliens because they just keep having more. I think it could be cool. Like I think this game could be decent. I'm gonna have to. Well, I guess I might be able to get it from my PC, but my PC probably won't run it well enough. I might have to like try and borrow my buddy's PS5 again to play this thing when it comes out.
I was about to say, would you buy it? Would you play it?
I would play it. I wouldn't buy a PS5 just to play it. I don't have one. I'm currently borrowing a friend's one, but I haven't actually used it that much yet because I know that as soon as I start playing it, I'm going to stop doing like all other hobby because that's how I am with video games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely play it. What about folks in the chat? Would you play it? How are you feeling about Space Marine 2? Looking at it. What do you think? And if you have experience with the first Space Marine game, let us know because I didn't play that one, but I think it was well received. What I played was Fire Warrior, which was fucking ballin'. I love that game. It's so much fun. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't amazing. Like, I think I played on PS1. I don't think it was even on PS2, but like you're rolling around with your like pulse rifle or whatever. You're like, yeah, I'm pretty badass. And then you get a bolter and it's just like huge because like they made the scaling accurate for a Fire Warrior. And you fire that thing and it feels like a missile launcher because like bolters are supposed to be like launch micro missiles. And when you launch it, like ka-doom, 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 it's like boom, boom, boom. Like it felt good. And like firing the plasma gun in that, it felt good. So I love that game.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I just loved how the Chaos Raptors were like, I don't know, those were very memorable to me.
Yeah, Chaos was scary in that game too. It was good.
Yeah, the storyline was terrible, but playing the game was brilliant. I found it.
What was terrible?
The story.
I don't even know what the story was. I just had so much fun firing that bolter and tearing apart Chaos dudes.
Look at us. Look at Mr. Pink having fun firing a bolter.
As was Xenos. I was a very healthy Xenos boy. I stole a bolter from an ugly Space Marine and I used it to shoot some more Space Marines, okay?
Yeah, was there any way to kill them? Was there any way to kill them?
Any way to kill the Space Marines?
Yeah, because otherwise you just waste other shots into it.
Well, I think you just had to shoot them a lot. I remember it being tough, but I think I did kill some Space Marines. I want to say hi to Evil. Go ahead.
Don't worry.
Okay. I wanted to say hi to Evil Laugh Entertainment, who stopped by. So they have to disappear in a bit, but glad to have caught you. We're glad to have caught you too. Tom Wilson saying that Space Marine reminds him of the old Aliens arcade game. I think I played that one. Is that the one where you like have like the rifle or whatever and you're just... Oh, Simon, did we play that one at my bachelor party? When we went to that arcade? And like Matt and Evgeny were just so good at just like wasting everything.
I feel like I don't remember much of that arcade place, to be honest.
I just have a picture of a bunch of people with guns.
Thing and...
Oh, right.
Oh, yes, you played that alien thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember now as you say it.
Oh damn! Tom Wilson is predicting that with Space Marine 2, if it's like the first game, Chaos will come in halfway through the game and the Nids will be forgotten about. I
Oh,
did have some concerns that they're showing us so many Tyranids now because they're like the initial baddie that's just like mindless swarm and you blow it up for a few levels and then like the real enemy comes in.
Yeah, I remember they did that with the original Space Marine game. So all the
Shit.
trailers,
Sorry, Flynn, what's that? They did it with the original?
yeah, just all trailers of orcs, and then the twist of chaos.
Okay.
The only thing I can think of twist they can do is Necrons, realistically.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to do that. I want to see more Nids.
Yeah. But I think it is the case that Games Workshop or Relic or whoever's doing this may struggle to create a narrative with Tyranids. Like when you have like Chaos or you have Necrons, they can like say things.
Yeah.
But I don't know, with Tyranids, it's like, they're taking over the planet, kill them all, we can't kill them all, go kill this like brain beast, go do that thing. Like I think that you could have like an interesting narrative on Tyranids, but I don't know if that's easier to write than like, oh yeah, we're killing Tyranids for a bit, but then these guys who can actually speak English show up and start like scheming maniacally on screen and telling us the story beats. So hopefully it focuses on Nids, but I get Tom Wilson's fear there, and that Brett was saying they were thinking the same. Brett was thinking the same thing.
That would be horrible. I think there was, when you think about, I know we have not Mr. Sphincter with us, but when you think about those, just those setups, you know, just how to invade a Tyranid ship and stuff like that, like that would be a pretty awesome story if you think about they first try to, you know, rescue the planet and then they fall short doing that. Like Space Marines, not well, they kill everything in their way, but they cannot, you know, rescue everybody. That would be cool. And
Yeah.
then to in a heroic act, they have to counterattack and attack the hive ship itself to cut off the supplies.
Yeah, like you have to like board a hive ship. That would be awesome.
I think that would be awesome for ego shooter. Because there would be so much, you know, storytelling and atmosphere. Like you wouldn't even have to show most of the spaceship.
Yeah.
You have it all dark and you know, have just reflections of things. You know, hint at things. That could be pretty cool.
Also, if you want
English go ahead,
speakers, you want English speakers, go for Gene Stealer Cultists.
That's what I was thinking. Like, let's get some cultists in there, but I don't know. I feel like if we were writing the game, we would be able to make it work because we live and breathe Tyranid fluff. But like, I think when people don't live and breathe Tyranid fluff, they're like, oh yeah, here's the random swarm thing. You need a random swarm, throw some Tyranids in there. Oh, you need some story? Yeah, you got to kill off the Tyranids and put something else in there.
That's the fear I have.